song.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, Pan in Paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy.
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. You know, this is a beautiful Wednesday morning and we want to welcome you to Youth Wednesday. Here, my name is Dwayne and you know, this is a beautiful morning where midweek we come and give you the youthful vibe of Tobago Updates just from a youthful perspective. I'm pleased to be with you guys, and for those who did not hear my name is Dwayne and I'm joined with this morning
Natalia Nantes. Good morning to you, Dwayne Nurse. Happy to join you to bring that youthful vibe and vigor for the midweek Tobago Updates youth session, Youth Wednesdays, here on Tobago Updates.
Yes. So guys, you know, for those of you viewing on our varying platforms on YouTube, Facebook, channel 1 and 2 and Amplia, and whatever device, Apple, Android, if you're thinking about us this morning, you know, welcome to Youth Wednesdays, and we know it's always a pleasure to have us. But before we get into the nitty-gritties of our program for you this morning, we want to go over to news in 90 seconds with Miss Natalia Nantes.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standards, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Dwayne. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 24th July 2024. The innovative Democratic Alliance urged the Tobago House of Assembly to engage in thorough discussions with local communities and cultural experts regarding festivals. The IDA highlighted the need to understand the Tobago Heritage Festival's cultural and economic significance. The IDA criticized the THA for inadequate stakeholder consultation and last-minute decisions. The IDA is disappointed in the THA's failure to leverage the festival for cultural preservation and economic revitalization. Key concern includes the absence of the opening night event, which traditionally stimulates economic activity and benefits local businesses. Representatives of the National Transformation Alliance, the Hope Party, and the Congress of the People will make their debut collective appearance at the Red House on Saturday for a wreath-laying ceremony marking the 34th anniversary of the 1990 coup attempt. On Saturday, representatives will wear white and gather at South Quay to join COP's Wendell Eversley, who annually walks from Arima to the Red House carrying Trinidad and Tobago's flag. Eversley was a hostage during the 1990 coup attempt by the Chama al-Muslimin, which involved taking several hostages, including then Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson. Between October 2023 and May 2024, the central government and 3 state enterprises raised over $14 billion in debt, according to the central bank's May 2024 Monetary Policy Report and Ministry of Finance. They issued $9.17 billion in domestic bonds and US $750 million internationally, including a 10-year $750 million bond at 6.40% interest rate. The primary debt market saw 14 bonds issued, with the government accounting for $8.07 billion and state enterprises at $1.10 billion. The Housing Development Corporation raised $500 million, the National Investment Fund Holding Company $400 million, and First Citizens Investment Services Limited US $30 million. Finance Minister Colm Inbird projected a deficit of up to $9 billion for the 2024 fiscal year due to a significant shortfall in petroleum revenues from falling oil and gas prices and lower production. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Natalia and Nancy, for news in 90 seconds. Before we get into our birthdays and the rundown, what has been happening in this space? How was your weekend and your weekend leading up to this morning, Miss Nancy?
Well, it was quite restful. I am grateful for my quiet weekend, but I know that our island is celebrating the Heritage Festival over several days.
Did you go to Charlottesville?
No, I
Why
didn't.
Not?
I was unable to, but from what I'm hearing from a lot of reports from on the ground especially, a lot of people enjoyed the start of the Charlottesville Festival. They even made it up there for 6-7 o'clock in the morning. I think that's dedication just for...
No, it's a thing. It's a thing that they have a walk and they have all kind of elements that I've never experienced yet. Have yet to experience. I was supposed to go, but I was just really out of it that day because I had a long weekend before. We also had over the weekend, this last weekend that just gone, Capture the Flag.
Yes.
I saw the highlight of a specific team winning the East. In the East, good. Congratulations. And for those other participants, congratulations, and continue to support the event. But I saw the highlight of one celebrant in particular winding down the place, man. Enjoy, man. So I guess a lot of people enjoyed themselves, but I did not attend. So what else is happening? We haven't Next week, Thursday, we have Emancipation. I
Yes,
think.
looking forward to Emancipation Day. Not just the holiday, but you know, it falls directly in line with Tobago's heritage or culture being emancipated. So I look forward to Emancipation Day, the holiday.
Yes. I plan to get adequate rest during that day. Nobody to bother me. Thank you. That'll be great.
Dwayne, I'm throwing out a challenge to you to wear your African colors. You know, that's the tradition.
I will try my best.
Yes.
I will try my best. But we're gonna go straight over to our birthdays, and we have but 3 celebrants this morning. First, we have Mr. Aldez Gonzalez. Happy birthday from his wife, kids, mom, dad, and the rest of his family. And here on Tobago Updates, happy birthday goes out to you, my brother. Who do we have next?
We have Dwayne John. I hope that you do enjoy your birthday today. You are our very vibrant host, namesake. So, Mr. Dwayne, I hope that you do enjoy your day and birthday blessings to you.
All right. And certainly last but not least, we have Mr. Kwesi Devines. A happy birthday goes out to you. Mr. Devines doesn't pass me straight no way, right? Every now and again he go try he like a pekong, but happy birthday goes out to you. I hope you enjoy the day. I hope your family treats you well, and you know, Tobago Updates here celebrates you as well. So that is it for birthdays today. We have for you one more important, intricate thing to make your morning this morning. This is the reason why you're here, and this is for the rundown this morning. The rundown this morning promises to be informative and impactful. And the first discussion we're going to be having this morning is about dengue, the dengue alert and environment preparedness, and we have Mr. Ricardo Bob from the public health inspector here to have that discussion this morning. That'll be a twofold discussion, so tune in and be a part of that informative discussion. And last but certainly not least, we have Youth Voice, and to foster that discussion this morning, we have Mr. Andrew Baker, producer and host, here for you this morning. That is it. You know, we have the best of the best for you here on Youth Wednesdays with my colleague here, Miss Nancis. You know, and we have to tell them to do one thing before we go: share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Welcome to the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort, where we will be hosting the very first annual CM Golf Academy Charity Golf Tournament. Some of the proceeds from this tournament will be going to my childhood school, the Montgomery Government School, and our neighboring school, the Bucco Government School, where we will be assisting students in various needs. We'll be having players from all over the globe, friends from Canada, Barbados, and also here in Tobago and from Trinidad, and few friends from America as well. So you can come here in the land of sea, sun, and sun, and come and have some fun with us here in Plantation.
Tobago, it's goat racing in July. Thursday, 25th July 2024. Come out to the Bucco Integrated Facility from 3 p.m. for a time of goat racing. Hosted by the Tobago Goat Owners Association. Only $20 for children, $40 for adults. Refreshments will be on sale. Goat racing in July. Thursday, 25th July 2024, 3 p.m. Come out at the Bucco Integrated Facility.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
See me on my God and love. Sisters, see me on my God and love.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago, in Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special. Wings Friday, 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday, 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoked bone. Special $150. Super Sunday, 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates here at Portmore Scarborough. This morning we delve into a very high discussion that has been happening among our populace, of course, on the topic of dengue and, you know, what dengue brings about from the individual in terms of fever and whatever be the case. Yeah, so with us joining in studio is Mr. Ricardo Bob, Public Inspector 4 of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. Good morning to you, Mr. Bob.
Good morning, and good morning, Tobago.
Good morning to you. Okay, so what is the role of the public health sector in our fight against dengue?
Well, of course, public health does a lot in the environment. Our main responsibility is in the environment. In terms of health promotion, one, in terms of keeping the environment in such a pristine condition, but more important, we do a lot of surveillance. So we have perifocal workers who will go to premises every single day of the year and looking for what we call foci of Aedes breeding.
Yes.
Now, besides that, we also do residual spraying for adults. We engage in source reduction campaigns. We encourage the community to participate in taking care of their health. And I must say that several communities have been reaching out to us for assistance. And for the last 2 weekends, we've been in communities removing a lot of stuff. I'm sorry I don't have any pictures this morning, but maybe we can share some with you guys so you can put them out there. Communities are partnering with us and actually being proactive. Because one of the things we recognize is that, I mean, there are so many of us, but the community has a big role to play. And we are here to facilitate that process and to partner with the community as well.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned a lot. You mentioned a lot of your roles as the public health sector, and we're actually going to be delving into those today. We know that the minister spoke about fogging in Trinidad, and you mentioned that it will be done in Tobago. So, what is it that brings about the red flag to say this community has to be sprayed? Because we spoke to Dr. Faith B. Israel previously, and she mentioned that some communities will be targeted to be sprayed because of what infests the area. So what brings about that red flag?
All right, so let me distinguish between spraying and fogging.
Okay, thank you.
So we do what we call interdomiciliary spraying in terms of residents. Fogging is a more environmental aspect that uses a special mist. Primarily the chemical uses malathion. And the red flag will be clusters of cases.
Okay.
So let's say we were to see 10 cases in a community. That would kind of like alert us, hey, there may be a lot of infestation. Infestation may be high here, and we may need to fog. We'll look in the community, because what fogging does is knock down adults right away. That's the objective, because the adults are the ones that will spread the disease more easily. So that will be like a red flag. Areas that, let us say we were to have a lot of overgrown bushes and so on, along with the high infestation, along with the clusters, we may do fogging in those areas.
Okay. All right. And has anything been put in place to start the fogging process?
Well, we have put our systems on alert. That's what I could say. But for now, what we do is whenever there is a case, we are going to get into that community and do 100-meter surveillance in that area in terms of perifocal, residual spraying, source reduction, and so on. I must say here, one of the things that we want to really target are those areas that you have these scrap metal people who are doing these kinds of business and creating breeding sites. We also have things like our derelict vehicles. Many people have derelict vehicles. They have not been removing, and notices are going to be served. So we are encouraging the community even now, because remember, you live in the community. You must take some responsibility to assist. And there are things you could do. You can partner with us to help you along this path, as opposed to going the route of having to be fined.
All right. So you mentioned the fine, right?
Yeah.
And that you would be serving notices to members of the community who have these type of vehicles on the roadways that collect.
Whatever can breed, not just the roadway, but residences, those people who have a lot of stuff lining the roadways. This is the rainy season. You are going to get those utensils holding water. People must be responsible, and they shouldn't wait on us to tell them to comply, because the mosquitoes are biting them as well.
Yes. Okay, so walk with me here. When you do serve that notice, what is the next step as the public health sector in terms of following up and ensuring that these people move the debris, if so to speak?
All right, so the matter goes to court.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes to court, and we take it from there.
All right.
Yeah.
And in terms of the fine, so you all will be implementing the fine into
well,
the
the fine is there in the law.
Okay.
It's for the process of serving the notice and following through with the court procedure.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is in place. It is there nationally, so it's not a Tobago thing. And sometimes people like to say things like, you don't want to see black man this and that. I don't know where people get these things from. Do we want to do the wrong thing and expect to be right? We have a situation. As a matter of fact, we should not have even had this situation if people were vigilant, because this is something we do every single year. We have engaged in source reduction campaigns. We do it every year, and we are amazed. The more we remove is the more there is.
Right.
Then what some people do is that they would now bring back some of these things that we get rid of into the environment and create a problem. Not because there's economic flow means that people must not be conscientious. And this is what we're saying. We must care about not just ourselves, but our community. If we have to make this island, the greatest little island on the planet, then there are some things
striving to do. Yes.
Well, sometimes I wonder. I don't think some people understand that. We need to be more conscientious about our environment.
Okay. So you did mention the procedure to follow in terms of to get rid of the debris so that fines won't be served. So what will the public health, you said, how do the inspections go? Would a schedule be sent out to say you're coming, or would you be making a random appearance?
No schedule. We just go out there. There is no we announcing that we are coming. One of the beautiful things about public health under the ordinance chapter 12 number 4 is that we have the authority to enter and inspect premises to carry out the provisions of the ordinance. And the ordinance with a lot of environmental things. You notice even through the COVID period that a lot of things were changed because environmental things come under the ordinance. So there's a lot of power there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that. But I want to share with people that if you have stuff that you want to get rid of, every single day, public health remove white waste from premises. People call in 639-1433. And if you have your old stoves, old fridges, derelict material, as a matter of fact, walk around your home every day. And let me tell you why. I was walking around my home and looking, and then the reducer from the 2-inch into the 4-inch that has some little spaces there, I saw breathing in there. So what I did, I fill it up with some sand.
Okay.
You may be under construction and you left the holes for the rails. Water gets in there, mosquitoes are going to breed. Fill it up with some sand. I've seen breedings in beer bottle caps that somebody just tossed. Snack wrapper, somebody just tossed. It hurts me to see these things. Mosquitoes need water, so we're going to eliminate the breeding sites. This is what our responsibility is, to eliminate breeding sites so we reduce the population, because the virus is here. It's not that it's not here, but we can break a link in the chain.
And it's been here before, so it should be, should I say, a proactive step in this case, because we've dealt with it before, and now that it's back on the rise, we should be doing proactive measures to reduce the amount of spread of dengue. Yes. You mentioned, let me bring back the whole topic of you inspecting areas, right? So is it recommended that the public health sector, the inspectors, they should make more visits to homes on a regular basis, so that in the event that you all tell people to remove white waste and these type of things, that you all reduce the build-up that happens after you all tell them to remove it?
Well, we do, we actually go to premises. Tobago's population is about 60,000. So the ratio of inspectors to the population is a little bit low, and moves are being made to augment that. The key is, as we go out in the environment, because we do not only have the inspectors, we have several categories of staff that go in the environment on a daily basis. When the perifocals go out and they recognize things, they feed that back to us. Then we have health control officers who are also in the environment. Then you have the inspectors who are in the environment. So there are several areas. One of the main challenges would be compliance, because compliance has some drawbacks to it. It means that you have to revisit. You may have to give time. Now, why should we have to do that when, if you recognize a crisis, a potential threat in the environment, the residents really should be the first to respond? Now, in some communities, we have really quick responses. But in other communities, people are slow to respond, and I will share one of the reasons why. It's relationship. People's relationship with each other creates a lot of the problems. So I'm engaged in an enterprise that is hazardous. Let's say the people are doing the scrap metals, and they are not concerned about the other people in the environment, that these things are holding the water because they want to make $1. Now, it's not that we're saying you can't do that, but there is a way. You can get a 20-foot container, put the things inside there. You can cover them up, you know. Maybe there may be other areas you may have outside of these communities, as opposed to just bringing them there and then creating a nuisance in the community. Then you don't care. You get sick. I don't know if you've ever gotten dengue, but I got dengue. It is one of the worst things that you could ever experience. You feel as though somebody take a 2x4 and beat you. And then the pain in the back of the eyeball, that is, you know, then the fever that comes and goes, and the joint pain and so on. It is very debilitating. and I wouldn't wish that on even my enemy. So I'm telling you, I got dengue several years ago. It's not an easy thing.
All right. Has there been a date set for you to start fogging?
No, remember, it's not the date for fogging. It's based on what we find in the environment.
Okay.
So far, thank God, we have not seen clusters, which is a good thing. But it doesn't mean that that may not happen, and it could happen very fast.
Okay.
Very fast.
And how soon after you all recognize the clusters would the fogging be done?
Immediately. Let us say our response to dengue is almost in real time. If we get a case today, because we may be on another case today, but if we get a new case today, by tomorrow we are in that environment doing several things. Number one, the perifocal surveillance. That's the initial thing that is going to happen, and it happens kind of simultaneously. Notifying, because when we have to spray, we must notify the community. Why? Well, you have asthmatics, you have the elderly, you have people with exotic birds, you have people with bees, and these things. So it's not just going on fog, because let's say we were to do that. If we kill the bees, then the THC might have to pay a lot of money. And that has happened in the past, because you can be sued for destroying the people's exotic possession. So that notification will be within at least 2 days, 48 hours, because you must let them know there's a preparation that they have to make when we're coming into the homes to spray and even to fog. So it's not like we just go in and fog and just distress people. There is a process to be followed, and we follow that as far as possible. We have had some people refusing to have their premises sprayed. We really can't force them to have it sprayed, but we encourage them. Why? Because you are able to be protected, but you would have to be outside of your home for the duration of the spraying, and some people may be uncomfortable with that, but remember, it's for the good.
Yes, it is pretty good, because mosquito, yes, dengue fever is one thing, but mosquito bites on a whole, it's terrible.
Yeah,
right?
Well, let me just share. For the average population, a mosquito is a mosquito. But Tobago has probably about 25 to 30 species of mosquitoes. So it's not just one. And the only one that sings in the air is the culex. Not all mosquitoes sing. The only mosquitoes that sing in your ears is the culex mosquito, and that doesn't spread dengue as far as we know. It spreads a disease called filariasis, elephantitis.
Okay, right. And that is the enlarging of different limbs on the body. All right, so this discussion is getting pretty exciting. When Dr. Faith was here, she gave us the opportunity to message her directly or through her social media pages in terms of reporting if our neighbors leave debris around the area. So when we come back from a short break, we'll discuss how we can get to the avenue of the public health sector, right? And how we should make our reports and when we should make them. So before we take a short break, I encourage all our viewers who are with us to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling, as I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody Shawty send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this soca is my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Together say we are.
On Sunday, 28th July, Fandango in collaboration with KCNN Rentals presents Christmas in July at Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive Family Extravaganza and Expo from 11 a.m. Sorrel, ginger beer, hops and ham, crab and dumplings, pop-up market, health fair, and more. Show starts 2 p.m. Free gifts and toys for the kids. Fun and games, live entertainment. Tickets at Party Paradise, Scarborough, Sherwood Foods, Canby, Triple L Minimart, Spring Garden, Fairways Restaurant and Lounge, Lowlands, Economy Veggie Mart, Penny Savers Compound, Zoya Vessels, Bill Brown Compound, CPA Computers, Port Mall, only $100 at the door. You pay more. For info, 399-4030 or 682-2888. Christmas in July. Bring the whole family and have a grand time.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it again.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
On Tobago updates here at Portmore Scarborough for viewers who are returning and for those of you joining us. Just reminding you that we are here with Mr. Ricardo Bob, Public Inspector number 4 of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. Right? So welcome back to our viewers. Mr. Bob, we continue on. Before we left for a break, there was a question that I think a lot of us are burning to ask. What to do if my neighbor's debris is piling up? How do I make this report? Now, Dr. Faithy B. Israel, she answered this question from the perspective of the Health Secretary. We are now privileged to be with the Public Health Inspector. So let's hear what he has to say. What should be done if my neighbor doesn't want to remove their debris and there is this big pile up in front of their house?
And that is an excellent question. We do have that challenge. Now, one, I always encourage folks, if you can talk to your neighbor, will be really good. Public Health Assist, you can call 639-1433 and say, I have some debris to be removed in terms of your white waste, not construction material and soil, and we will come and move it. We do that every single day. People call all the time. However, if your neighbor is not removing their debris and it is creating a nuisance, you can call us and lodge a complaint or come to the office, corner Robinson and Young Street, that's the old Scarborough Health Center.
Okay.
The number is 639-1433. And I'm saying it, if you call and you don't get an answer or the line is, occupied, then just call again because, lots of complaints come in. We get several complaints every single day, and that's not the only service that we offer. We do many other things. So if you're having a problem, let us know. We're going to come and check it out. But remember, all the complaints are important and none of us are omnipresent. So it doesn't mean because you call today, we can come today, because there are many things that are happening in the dengue response, as we said, but we are going to address all of them. But I encourage people, here's an opportunity to Treat your neighbor better. Stop distressing your neighbor with your debris. Let us make the environment clean.
And sometimes we have to wonder if that neighbor is not under attack from these mosquitoes because, I mean, the debris is piling up.
But
So
there's
as
a
you
mindset
said,
that, needs to change.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned that you can come and you remove the debris. Yes. So is it a case that when we make the reports, we could call you one time, if you all are available, and we can have a mediation between the neighbor and have the debris removed on the same day, or is
No,
it scheduled?
The debris that you call for will be your debris on your property.
Okay.
Now, if it's a complaint against a neighbor, then we first require that neighbor to remove that debris. That neighbor has that responsibility because they did not take advantage of the opportunity we offer. So if you know you have something on your premises distressing somebody, you can call us and we can assist you in removing it. But if somebody complains, that's a different story. You have the responsibility to remove it.
Okay. So I see this upcoming problem that is happening currently on the roadways is that when people clean their properties and stuff, they tend to dump on the roadways or in other large areas where they think the debris would somehow just disappear, right? Could you speak on this issue and how the public health sector chooses to address it?
Well, that's a challenge where people are now, in the past, when the population was smaller, people would burn stuff in the back of their houses. But now they're putting it in these residences, you can do that. And they put it out in front of their property, expecting that somebody will magically remove it or something, or maybe in a vacant lot. That should not be done. We have a landfill at Studley Park, and I don't think there's any place in Tobago that will take you more than an hour and a little bit, furthest point, to get to that space where you can put that debris there. Usually the thoroughfare, what we call the roadway, is the responsibility of the Division of Infrastructure. They're the ones who clean, but when you put your debris there, you exacerbate the problem. And what I've seen is people start now putting garbage on that, and it creates an issue. So all the various agencies sometimes have to partner to get rid of that. But we encourage people, don't put your cuttings and stuff on the roadway. You need, again, that is your responsibility from your property. Now, in other jurisdictions, there are services to do that. We don't have that service provided at this time in Tobago. But it's one of the things that can be placed on the, should I say, schedule in the future. But right now, to take up cuttings, that's not what we do. That's your responsibility.
Okay, and is there a recommendation as to how they should get rid of the cuttings in their own home?
Yeah, well, now you can do composting.
Yes.
That's something that is available. Or if they are large, then you get your good friend, your neighbor who you may not have been doing well with, and you take it to the landfill. It's not very far, it's right there. We have provisions for that. We have space for that.
All right. And is there a fine attached to dumping in public spaces? I mean, this should be a rhetorical question at this point. But
Of course there is. There is a fine. Remember, you have the Litter Act, and the fine is at least $1,000. And for repeat offenders, you can have other things. No, but you have to see the person. You have to. This is one thing to, okay, there is dumping, but then who did it? Because a lot of people in Tobago, what they do is that they dump at night. So we have some hot spots, we call them. Mott, that's in the Bethany area. We have cleaned that area so many times. The garbage truck pass every day, twice a day in that area. There should be no reason for any accumulations. But guess what? We clean it today, tomorrow you go back. Union, there is an area there. There is somebody, and a lot of it sometimes is construction material that creates a problem that people are dumping there. Lambeau, there's a bin there, and there are some other areas, lowlands. People are actually leaving their communities with their garbage that they should put in front of their house for the garbage truck to take up, and go in other communities and dump. And I cannot understand why a person would do that when you should just have a receptacle in the front of your house. And because the garbage truck pass in every community every single day. Tobago should be the cleanest place. I would just share this. I went to Aruba recently. Garbage is taken up once a week, and there is no garbage. in the community. 1 day a week only, your garbage is collected. Their population is just about twice ours. We should have no problem, because this is where you have your mosquitoes, because the receptacles can hold water, and your rodents as well.
Do you think that we should increase the surveillance of the roadways and these areas in order to combat this issue?
Those things are coming as a last resort. It means when we have to do these things, you know, put up cameras and so on, sometimes it means we're losing the fight. And we really shouldn't have to go there, but it may be a necessity. You put cameras in the hotspots so you can get people, and then you have to tighten up on the enforcement machinery. Meaning, if we have, in some areas, if you have an environmental issue, the time frame between when you serve a notice and the court is very short. So you can actually take action, because when you draw it out, it complicates the process.
Okay, all right. So we're hearing that, you know, you said Lambo, this the Motmet area, things like this. So is it that when the fogging starts, or whenever you all start to see the build-up of the numbers, as you said,
which we hope not,
is it that these are actually already areas of interest, seeing that the debris can fester a growth in the mosquito population that might be present?
Well, the thing is, in an open area like that, remember when you fog, you're fogging in the open, you will only get adults that are present at that time. So unlike residual spraying, but that you spray on walls, the efficacy of what we use is 6 to 8 weeks. So even though you fog in that area, only the adults that are present then, because the fog goes out in like a plume, and the adults are going to be destroyed. Okay. It doesn't destroy the larva. It doesn't destroy eggs. Yeah. So if I could just go back to the surveillance in other aspects, for example, we do what we call ovi-trapping, where we set traps to harvest eggs. And so we get an idea as to what may be happening in the environment. And then we do egg counts and so on. Then we do the perifocal surveillance, looking at destroying foci, right? And then we do the spraying that destroys adults. You know, what we are using right now is environmental friendly response aquatim, which can actually help to destroy not just larvae but pupae as well. And because before we used EBIT, that wasn't effective against pupae. So even though you had pupae in the water, you killed the larvae, but the pupae will still hatch. Now we kind of gone a little above, and we are doing actually checking every stage in the mosquito cycle.
Okay. So I think you have shared a lot of information here that is very valuable to the community, especially the one where we're dumping on the roadways. I mean, yes, dengue is an issue, but I don't know if you've passed through the Bacolet area. It's very hard to drive staying on the road when the roadways are filled with the debris at the side. It's terrible.
And you can have accidents too, you know. You know, so people need to be more conscientious. I think I don't think people understand their individual responsibility. They think that the responsibility is that of the state. But remember, the more we distress the environment, it puts a strain on the resources of the state. And then you are affected. Then you complain to the same state that they are not doing what they're supposed to do. So we want to encourage a consciousness among our people. The children, they are home now. Go around the homes and look for the breeding sites. Stop throwing your snack wrappers and the bottles that you drink. Put them in the garbage.
And clean up the little toys as well. That also collects water.
Yeah, clean them up. Don't leave them outside. Rain fell last night. Somebody left a toy. In about 10 days, you're going to have mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yeah. I even clean my own drain in my community. I clean my drain. I walk outside. I pick up all the bottles that people throw in my street. Because I'm saying, and it's not just because I'm a public health inspector, but I like to see a nice environment.
Clean environment.
And the last thing I would just want to touch on is keep yourself healthy.
Yes.
Because it's your immune system that is going to be helping you. So keep yourself healthy, you know.
boost your immune system, and also we encourage you to use those oils, the lavender that was mentioned before, citronella and these type of things.
Very helpful.
It helps against
mosquito
the
nets. If you have mosquito nets, you can use them as well.
I've not seen a mosquito net in very long,
but they might be scarce now. Eh?
Yes, but all of these are measures that can be put in place to reduce the infection of the dengue. As Mr. Bob said, we need to keep that at a minimum, because dengue is not a good thing to have, believe you me. All right, I've seen a few people suffering from dengue. It really isn't nice. So avoid being bitten, and in order to do this, we need to keep our environment clean, green, and serene, if so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll allow Mr. Bob to just share that contact information again for the public health sector that you can call in case there is debris in your home, or there needs to be some type of mediation for you and your neighbor in terms of the debris that your neighbor may have. So go ahead, Mr. Bob.
All right. So the number to call is 639-1433. 639-1433. Now, I must advise you, we are supposed to do some spraying at our building on Friday, so that may not be a very good day to call after 10 o'clock. Yeah. Yes. But we have to also protect ourselves, because if we are responding, then you want to be in the best position to do that. So remember that you can call us, you can lodge complaints, we take the complaints, we respond to the complaints. We have been having many outside of programs like these, where people are saying, my neighbor is so-and-so, and we have been going into those and addressing those. But again, I want to say 639-1433 is the number that you want to call. If you want to have, even if you want to have your place sprayed, even though there are no cases in your area, we are going to respond. Even if somebody calls and say, I feel I have dengue, we are going to respond as well.
Okay, that's very nice to hear, actually. Yeah. That's pretty proactive. Even if it's the flu and it seems like it's dengue, please say. All right. So again, 639-1433, that's the number that you can call to lodge your complaints in terms of any reports of debris or anything like that in the area. The public health sector will get right on it. Please, if you are to visit the building, don't visit on Friday. That is the 26th of July. They'll be spraying their building. So lodge the complaints, visit the public health sector building on any other day except the 26th of July. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Bob, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you here to inform our public on how they should keep their environment clean. And for our viewers, we continue on. Of course, we are not just finished yet with our exciting morning. We encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported. Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
It's a different type of thing down there, and we party till we drop down there, with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne Nuss for those of you just joining us. And we want to take the discussion to a youthful one, or more youthful one this morning, surrounding youth voice. And to foster that discussion this morning, we have two persons here this morning, Mr. Andrew Baker, producer and host for the Youth Voice Show, and we have Amber Mayhew. Good morning. She's a sprinter, guys. She's a sprinter. She was sprinting here because she thought that she was late, but you made it on time.
Thank you.
All right, so that was a very good icebreaker. So just tell us about yourselves, why you're here, and about Youth Voice.
Well, good morning, guys. My name is Andrew Baker. I've been involved, I've worked at the Department of Youth Affairs for about approximately 6 years. I'm very passionate about youth development on the island of Tobago. So I would have founded the organization Youth Voice, where we started off with radio program. And from there, it grew into a momentum. We did events, activities, initiatives to develop young persons on the island of Tobago. So it has now grown from radio to television. So we have a television show, Youth Voice, right here on Tobago Updates.
Wow, that's really, really amazing. You mentioned some of the things, but before I go into that question, Amber, just tell us about what your role is in the organization when you joined and why you joined.
Okay, so I am host as well as co-host for different segments. My segment is called Fashion Trends. I love all aspects of fashion, I would have expressed to Andre that the same thing with youth development. I want to be more involved and be impactful in Tobago. And he was like, well, here's what I have Youth Voice going on and I want you to be a part of it. And I was like, hey, no problem. So, we sat down and we discussed what is the vision that he wants to portray for the organization. And I was like, no problem. I want to be on board. It sounds like something that is going to be very entertaining, especially for persons around our age group. And so
our age group. Really define out the age group. But however, what has been the journey like? Joining Mr. Beaker on this thing. If you care to share.
Yeah, no problem. It is rather entertaining. There's never a dull moment, I must say.
You keep saying entertaining. Just share it as is there a lot of jokes, comedy?
So when we coming up with, for instance, when we have, I'm not sure if you would have seen Checkpoints. When we went to Checkpoint, he's like, Amber, you just be expressive and do your thing. You want to bring it on. It's like, yeah, he's making jokes along the way when we go into different places and stuff like that. It's never like, okay, you have to do this. He gives us that freedom to be creative.
So there's a youthfulness in terms of vigor and energy.
And he took it serious when he said Youth Voice, because it's not like he's debunking our freedom of creativity. It's
really
always
nice.
there
Really
to.
Nice. You said that you had a lot of initiatives and so on. But I think it's past and some present and some future. What are some of the things that you guys have done thus far given that you recently established this? And in fact, what year did you establish this?
Actually, Youth Voice started in 2015.
So
it's been
blossom.
Yes, it's blossomed. It has transcended over time, right? But we did a number of events, initiatives. We had something called Sandblast. Before I even reached the Sandblast activity, we realized that there were a lot of grassroots young persons within different communities that weren't getting the highlight and the promotion. And so what we decided, we had a Youth Voice. So the concept of the radio program was to highlight and promote positive young people on the island of Tobago. So we used to invite persons to interview them, highlight them on radio. So while we were there, we was like, wait, there are lots of awards going on within Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago Youth Awards, the Tobago Youth Awards, and I felt that there was some young person that was missing grassroots people. So we decided to have a Youth Voice gala and award ceremony where we wanted to award some of these young people who were coming on the show in different categories. But what we wanted to do is to add a touch of fashion elements into the activity. So we invited persons who were fashion designers. So when we were doing that event, we got numerous young people in Tobago said they want to come and display their fashion, and they were sewing. And so I was like, there are so many young people that are fashion designers in Tobago. So when we did the gala, we decided to do an event called Sandblast, where we did it at Pigeon Point, where we invited all the fashion designers. We had artists, Irfan Alves, Flippo,
Daniel Clark.
Yes. Okay. So we created a synergy between entertainment and fashion on the beach, and a lot of young persons benefit from that because persons didn't know these young persons were fashion designers, so they get to display their stuff. They are models, and persons would have purchased some of the stuff. But for a more recent activity, recently at the Scarborough Library, what I had noticed and what the team of us had realized is when you go to functions, like whether it's a funeral, classrooms, or young persons tend not to want to get up and talk.
Right.
Right? We have a fear in Tobago as a young person, we like to stay to the back of the class. We don't like to come forward, and we don't like to be the first person to stand up and talk.
So you guys never, you guys are on radio.
Yes.
So Miss Amber, are you a part of that radio talk show program? Have you been there, or you're yet to be there?
Yet to be there.
Yeah. Are you one of those persons that Mr. Baker is talking about, that, you know, it's building the confidence to be on the show? Tell us about that.
Well, I would have, within school time, I was one to go out to the class and talk and stuff like that. So in the sense of, you know, being in the background and not wanting to go forward.
That's not you.
No.
That's good. So you're one of the champions for encouraging the young persons, especially those because you're the host, and we're going to get to that soon. For the fashion trends. So this my next question is, besides the fashion trends, what are the other aspects of the upcoming event that you're having here on Tobago Updates? Just share that.
All right. Just before I finish, I didn't get to say it.
Sorry.
At the Scarborough Library, we did learn to public speak. So it was a workshop, 2-day workshop, where we had invited persons from Trinidad and persons from Tobago who would have taught the kids and the young persons techniques on public speaking. So out of that, we even on the radio program, we took 2 persons from the workshop and had them co-host on the radio program. So kudos to that. To see these young people at the beginning were scared, were frightened, and to see them use some of the techniques that they learned at our workshop was amazing. And that is the goal of Youth Voice, to empower young people so that they can represent us and shine in Tobago. But going on now, the concept of Youth Voice is a 1-hour-long show. It's on 12 noon on Saturdays on Tobago Updates. The concept behind it, I must be big shout out to my co-host, Miss Anikwa. She's the one that sings morning.
Yes, I know.
For persons who you know, well, I keep telling Kwa, she's a star. You know, and she always say no, Baker, no. So
she's humble.
Very. So I must say big shout out to my co-host for the show. Kwa, big up yourself. So the show is made up of a number of segments. As you can see, we have the positive youth segment. Because Youth Voice is all about fun and youth and stuff like that, we have the positive youth game. So we don't just have an interview and highlight that person, but we do an activity with them. So it's fun, it's engaging, it's exciting. We have the what to do, where to go on the island of Tobago segment. That segment helps young people, anyone, identify places in Tobago, what to do, where to go, what to do to have fun on the island of Tobago. And trust me, we had some fun, and we have some more fun to do with that segment.
Right. So enough of your segment. So let me just...
No, well, I'll continue all the segments, and then I'll go
to... Good,
right. So for example, what you're watching right now is the what to do, where to go, where the co-host for that segment is Josh. Josh Filbert. Right? Okay. Right. So he is the co-host for that event. And if you notice, each segment has their own, that's just right there. Yes. All right. So the entire Youth Voice team is young persons, you know, and I wanted to give that perspective from a youth mindset. Also, we have the cookability segment. Well, everybody, Amber has been the star of the cookability segment.
So you could cook?
Well, the concept behind the cookability segment is where we highlight persons who good with the pot. You know, on the island of Tobago. Well, Amber is the right person for that. That's us doing Rena Roti. We have done a number, and persons look out. We have a lot more in store. We also have one of our favorite segments as well, the fashion trend segment. Well, Amber is the star of that. You know, giving young persons a better pointers of what's the latest fashion trend, highlight persons in the industry, whether it is hairdressers, barber shops, whether it's a clothing store, whether it's nails. You know, there's so many multifaceted areas of fashion, and we wanted to highlight persons within that area. So we did the fashion trend segment. So those are and then we have the DJ hype segment where we highlight upcoming DJs and give them a shine. We want persons to get a chance to see a DJ. We get them playing, we vibe to the music, you know, and we have a short interview interview with them after. So it's all about creating that synergy between your talent and your youthfulness. Amber? Yeah.
So just over to you, Miss Mayhew. What are the age groups? You know, we say youth. You could go as old as 90, as young as you feel. But what are your target ages to join this event?
To join the event or
To be a part and to be highlighted
of the television show.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you have a talent and you are comfortable enough to be filmed, that is all we need.
That is the only criteria.
Correct.
As long as you have a talent, you're confident in what you do, and you could be confident in front of the camera, and you want to highlight your talent, you could join Youth Voice.
Definitely.
And be highlighted as a youth here on Tobago Updates and for Tobago. Right?
Yes.
Anything else you want to share with us? Social media handles,
Yes.
you know, and just a clarion call for those who want to.
All right, so
be
before go there, I must say also a big shout out to Mark Ruiz. Within the show as well, we have a little skit. You know, throughout Trinidad and Tobago right now, they're doing a lot of skits and drama and stuff like that. So we wanted to incorporate that into the television show. So this is where we try to make it as fun and exciting and as possible.
But you're a jack of all trades.
I think Amber is the jack of all trades here as well. So and the thing is, we have chosen a lot of dynamic young individuals who are multifaceted, very talented. Well, as you could see, Amber alone, she has been one of the stars of the show. I must say, congrats to all the persons that make this possible. Just to continue, you can check us out on Youth Voice TNT on Facebook, Youth Voice TNT on TikTok, and youth.voice on Instagram. All right. Don't forget, guys, we are on every Saturday from 12 to 1. Trust me, it's the best lunchtime you could ever get. Get your lunch together, put on the television, put on your social media, and it's going to be fun, exciting, especially for the young people. We create that that value for your time, because a lot of people very busy these days. One last thing I want to say. So guys, because it's summer, we have our Youth Voice for Summer promotion, where we have our secondary school challenge. The concept behind it is we every show we have something called a code word. Right? The last code word was positivity. So every Saturday we have a code word. As a secondary school student, right? All you have to do is give us the code word and send in your school ID. So we want to make sure you're from secondary school. So when you send in your school ID, you like all our social media profiles, send us your school ID with the code word, and you have a chance to win an iPhone, a Mac Mini.
What kind of iPhone?
iPhone 12, a mini Mac, a mini Apple Mini computer, and of course, Youth Voice merchandise. We have hoodies, hats, we have t-shirts, so we're calling on all secondary school students. We know you're home for the summer. We want you to watch the show, tell us the positive word, and and one before I forget, must say shout out to Zion Wellington. Zion would have been actually one of our persons that we interviewed on the show, and she's now part of the show.
I know Zion.
Right.
I
So
know,
Zion, we
I know
interviewed
very well.
Zion. She's the owner of Game Vault. And she came onto the program, and we were so impressed.
That's really
so we
nice.
decided to make her the host for our youth game segment. So, much say shout out for the entire team, and for Tobago Updates right now, which is the best viewing platform in Tobago. I should say Trinidad and Tobago as well.
Thank you very much. I feel elated for that thing.
All right. So now I'll leave it to Amber to take us out, if anything. Amber.
I would encourage you all, if no business is too small. If you know you want to be a part of Youth Voice, you could always feel free to reach out to us. I encourage you all to come forward. Don't worry. It's not a thing where it's like, nah, I don't want. No, do not discourage yourself. Don't be shy. You could always reach out to us. Even if you see us on the road or anything like that, don't be frightened or anything like that. We we friendly. We friendly. So yeah.
But we definitely taking up on that cookability.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we have to see it in action. So
I'll send you my videos.
We coming.
All right, guys. So unfortunately, this brings us to the end of Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates morning show and this interview. And thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
You know, thank you guys for viewing us. You know, this has been a pleasure. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back with Good Morning Tobago.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of
We have not had a shark attack in my years of scuba diving and being in the marine environment. We have never had an encounter such as that one. So we have to understand why is it that this happened, and understand that, listen, you know, these creatures, that's their home, and being in the water as a diver and even as a swimmer, one of the inherent risks is encountering one of these creatures. Yeah, so I don't think that is a worry, but I think it's a wake-up call for us to make sure that we equip our lifeguards, equip our emergency responders, so that they know in the unlikely event of an incident like that, we know what to do. As divers, we would see sharks once in a while, but most of the time it's what we call provoked or unprovoked occurrences. So when we see them, they tend to avoid us. They don't like the human contact at all. We are not part of the ecosystem, so they don't know us as food. So the fear isn't there. The fear is mutual. They are more scared of us as we of them. Okay, so we just have to respect the animal.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, it's rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, Pan in Paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso.
Where else can you get sweet calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We build artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, Ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Every time, every single time. Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago. I am Chanel Felix, and this morning, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have, while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standards, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
The Innovative Democratic Alliance urged the Tobago House of Assembly to engage in thorough discussions with local committees and cultural experts regarding festivals. The IDA highlighted the need to understand the Tobago Heritage Festival's cultural and economic significance. The IDA criticized the THA for inadequate stakeholder consultation and last-minute decisions. The IDA is disappointed in the THA's failure to leverage the festival for cultural preservation and economic revitalization. Key concerns included the absence of the opening night event, which traditionally stimulates economic activity and benefits local businesses. Additionally, representatives from the National Transformation Alliance, NTA, the Hope Party, and the Congress of the People, COP, will make their debut collective appearance at the Red House on Saturday for a wreath-laying ceremony marking the 34th anniversary of the 1919 coup attempt. On Saturday, representatives will wear white and gather at the South Quay to join the COP's Wendell Eversley, who annually walks from Arima to the Red House carrying the Trinidad and Tobago flag. Eversley was a hostage during the 1990 coup attempt by Jamaat al-Muslimin, which involved taking several hostages, including the Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson. And finally, October 2023 and May 2024, the central government and 3 state enterprises raised 14 billion in debt. According to the central bank's May 2024 monetary policy report and the Ministry of Finance, they issued 9.17 billion in domestic bonds and US 750 million internationally, including a 10-year US 750 million bond and a 6.4 interest rate. The primary debt market saw 14 bond issues, with the government accounting for 8.7 billion and state enterprises 1.1 billion. The Housing Development Corporation raised 500 million, the National Investment Fund Holding Company 400 million, and First Citizens Investment Services Limited US 30 million. Finance Minister Colin Imbert projected a deficit of up to 9 billion for 2024 fiscal year due to the significant shortfall in petrol revenues from falling oil and gas prices and lower production. And that was on news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I am your host, Chanel Felix. Guys, this morning we're having a pretty interesting conversation. We're talking about what happens when you come back home and when you are willing and ready to contribute to Tobago's development. This morning we're talking to Daniel Vincent, who is also the founder of Extreme Fitness. Good morning, Daniel, and how are you doing?
Good morning, Chanel.
All right, now, I saw you there on Sunday at the Capture the Flag event, and, as we were catching up a bit, I spent some time, every time we see each other, we always ask, what's up, how you doing, what are you doing, what are you up to? And it's good to know that you have taken the Trinidad and Tobago flag yet again to the United States, where you are extending that Extreme Fitness brand. Talk to us a bit about where Extreme Fitness is now as it stands in the United States.
Well, since I left, a lot has been going on. And first off, good morning to Tobago. Good morning to my family. Yes, to my daughter as well. She's watching this morning. So good morning, Ava. And to my sister with her hairline that's doing so good now. Love it hair, Caroline. So good morning to her. So, yes, I'm in New York now, doing so well. I always try my best not to leave Tobago because Tobago is home. Tobago is passion. Tobago is pride for me. But I had the offer from one of my mentors, who is John Padula. He's from Italy. He's US-based, New York-based, one of my high school mentors. And it turned out to now being one of the USATF New York coaches in New York for track and field, where we work with young, upcoming athletes who is preparing themselves for the Olympics, the Junior Olympics. And we have couple Caribbean athletes whose parents is from different various around that they are based in New York. So we're actually training them as well. So that's just one part of what I'm doing.
Right. Well, for me, I always love to see other young Tobagonians all over the globe doing great things. And that's why I felt like it was so important for, you to give us an update on everything that's happening, because you have been integral when it comes to sport development on the island of Tobago. Even in your own entrepreneurial pursuits, you have created a brand that has engaged Tobagonians on, a fitness level, from all age groups. So tell us how that has transformed into the coaching work that you're doing now, and how can that possibly, feed into what is happening on the island of Tobago as it relates to development?
Well, I haven't got to reach the secretary as yet, but I still plan to. But this time I'll be coming back with a different aspect where I'm bringing the team. I know everybody always like to depend on the government. I'm not that type of person. If I come to you and we could make a progress for the youths, that's why I'm about. That's why I always push Extreme to the level of where it goes. Like, for example, Mosi Dudun, who is controlling the YMCA swim athletes. I train them. And there's so much excellence progress going on out of them. Even till today, they did well. A part of that, well, taking extreme to New York now, it's now where we're working on is bringing the coaches island now. They
Okay.
always talk about how good I was doing and they always wanted to come. And this is something that has been for decades now that I always wanted to introduce the new style technology, the craft of what sports is today. Now we have a young athlete that represents the USA, 16 years of age, running men time. That is amazing.
Right.
No time, nobody never did that before. So by introducing the sports where you working on teaching new coaches how injuries could be prevented, because I grew up in a time where it's just ice, go in the sea, soak your muscles, and you will recover. Technology is ahead. Now we're using these social platforms, flat screen TVs in our house. I can't tell if somebody still have those big back TVs,
I mean, that was
but we gotta move with change. We gotta move with time. So this is where I'm now working step by step to get these programs out, where we could do clinic programs teaching coaches how to prevent injuries, the new craft of training and different style of training. And as long as the door is open, whether nobody wants to be on board, I will still go to the different clubs and organizations because we have a lot.
But I
on the
know
island.
that currently there is a program called I Choose Sport TT under the Ministry of Sport, which is overseen by the Minister Shamfa Kajo. And so that may be a great opportunity for collaboration and conversation. And from what I know of Shamfa, she's always willing to collaborate with the youths on these type of projects.
For the past, I've been knocking on every single door, not bashing any political. I guess, as a man of faith, God always have a timing for every chapter to open a door. And once that door opens, I'm going to step in and do what I have to do. Now that I'm outside with the resources that I'm having, and not only coaching them, I'm also a teacher now. I was trying my best not to go into the teaching when I'm teaching physical education in a high school now. I was trying my best, but eventually that was the direction I had to go as well. So it's not just only coaching. And then now Extreme is also abroad in New York where I'm training so much clientele, different country, different aspect. And I love Tobago.
Right. And then there's a new secretary for community development, sport, and youth development, right? And I had a conversation with him just yesterday, and he is very open to working with youth. He said that he has an open door policy, he is willing to do this type of collaboration. So I believe that it's important for, when we have young persons who are doing their own thing privately, to contribute to youth development as well as sport development, that the collaborations come about. And he indicated that he's very much open to collaboration.
We had a brief convo while we were at Capture the Flag, which was great. So I do plan to see him before I leave, because I was even explaining with kids now in sports in the US on a whole. Every sporting aspect, you have to do a medical checkup before any child competed any sports. We don't do that here, because we're going to just, our child could run, they could play basketball, and then when you put them out there and something happened, you never know what could happen to a child. And also we have a lot of sports doctors who are here on the island, which I see, like Dr. Kevin Ford and so much more, Romati. They are highly engaged to be on board where we could actually start doing sporting clinics. And you don't have to add any extra money to it because they're already getting paid by the THA. So they could actually start a clinic where we direct sporting athletes to prepare them in a safer aspect than you just telling kids, you hurt, take a rest. They're still engaged. You could still train and recover.
So that's a whole new aspect of the sport that has gone a bit unnoticed.
Yes, that's what Jamaica is doing right now. And everybody loves seeing how Jamaica is competing. And they're from the Caribbean just like us. We could have the same resources as long as they have the passion to open that door for everyone. We could make progress.
Understood. And now, when it comes to extreme fitness, everybody knows we look forward to that yearly, hike. Yes. We look forward to being pushed to our limits every year. Talk to us about what that extreme fitness hike is looking like this year. Are you looking for partners? What can we expect from this year's extreme fitness hike?
I actually put out a brochure for 2025 because of so much was going on this year. I had to put a pause on it, and I know the hike brought so much to Tobago. The impact from having 89 people, one baby and a dog, to where the last one we had over 500 people. So I said, because of so much going on this year, I'm gonna focus on next year, where I might bring it back for the Good Friday, or I will actually bring it within the summertime of now.
Right. And so what is happening there that is causing us not to get a hike this year? Because, there is the October Carnival coming up, and I feel like that's an excellent opportunity, not only for locals, but for individuals visiting the island to be a part of a great experience.
Now, since if Donnie could have split himself in 4 persons, I don't even want to. 4, it could have happened within a blink of eye, because when I'm not here, I'm the engine room to my baby, to extreme. Now that I'm at somewhere else where the service is different, I just can't run home because I like to be on hands-on to make sure everything is good. I want to make sure that, like the hike, when everybody comes in, hey, the porridge is here, which stand from porridge now is a big thing. I actually introduced it to New York slowly, and now it's getting there. I just want everybody to enjoy themselves. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm in New York and this going on here and Danilo is not here. Because I saw that for the carnival. I saw my whole face on a brochure, and I'm like, wait, big carnival and Danilo not in Tobago?
Understood. But I think the height of entrepreneurship and business success is being able to create a brand and a business that can run, without you being there all the time. So we hope that is where Extreme is heading to.
We are, but they still miss, even in the workouts. Then you're not getting the same drive, like, oh, you're there. And I'm like, but the other trainers and them are good as well.
Yeah.
But, everybody gravitate to somebody different. Because, you might have a different approach to someone, and that's where it is. But regardless, the train's still moving. So.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to the 2025 version of that Extreme Fitness hike. And what else can we see coming from that Extreme Fitness brand?
I have a lot. I'll just put them out in spotlight. But so far I'm actually discussing some investors outside to do a different launch for Tobago. I'm not ready to put that out yet. But it's more pertaining to fitness and for Tobago especially. And as long as where I am, I'm always putting Tobago on the map. I always highlight Tobago, even in my social platforms. I like to use the slogan, the I love Tobago. Because small place, big pride. That is our island. That's my drive for Tobago. Even different cultures. Because now I'm in a school where we recently went to South Korea, which was one of my first time and experience with the school. And now meeting these different cultures now, and you telling people I'm from Tobago. The first thing people used to say is Trinidad. No, it's Trinidad and Tobago. So now highlighting Tobago, people doing the history behind Tobago. And it's now an enlightenment to visit. So shout out to all my friends who's coming down with me for the carnival this year. I'm not missing it this year. So I'm having a whole team coming with me this year.
Right. Well, and we look forward to whatever events Extreme Fitness decides to put on, and bringing out the stand firm porridge. That's a staple here on the island of Tobago. Every Saturday morning we buy our porridge from Extreme Fitness.
Yes.
Now, you indicated that you have sort of functioned as an ambassador to Tobago when you travel the world, specifically for sport and fitness and youth development. Are you willing to be an active ambassador on any type of ambassadorial program that comes from diaspora engagements on the island?
Yes.
And do you see that there's a need to engage members of the diaspora to be ambassadors for the island?
Yes, definitely, hands down. Once it comes to youth and sports, I am #1 driven to be on board for it. because there's a lot of talented kids on this island that need the guidance. I'm grateful that I had Mr. Gerald Franklin, Mr. Sosa, and so many others who contributed, Mr. Devines. They did so much to Tobago. Why not share the knowledge until my time is gone?
Right. Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this discussion. And do you have friends in the diaspora that are willing to do just as you are doing?
Well, there's the other different fitness organizations that does well, but we all might have different ideas and platform. But I must say the Extra Jam, which was the carnival, launched that with Those Fit, Marcel Fitness, all other organizations, Chubbs, everyone. They had a great turnout, which I was there present, that everyone got to share the stage. And I do hope that they continue. Whether I'm not there or not, I'm still always supporting and engaging it because it's something good to promote health and fitness where you can bring out families, friends, and not just is a fitness thing. You don't have to be fit to be in shape, to be supportive. Like, you remember the last hike you did?
Yeah, I for real. I really was not in tip-top shape, but I finished.
Yeah, you finished
and that is so important because, persons just want the motivation to start.
Exactly.
Because once you start, you can finish. And that was one of the biggest things that you promoted when you had the extreme fitness hike. You always said just start. Because once you start, you will find people that are on your level and you just automatically create groups of people who you may not know that just begin supporting you and telling you, come on, we all have to finish it.
And the scenery was a top class of the event. The scenery is that it was so nice every year because I change the trail every year. And it was so nice to see people. It's like, hi, it have houses in Culloden.
Yeah.
I can see Golden Lane. I can see the view of Scarborough and Pigeon Point. These are the things that people are supposed to get to know, that it's not just going Crown Point or going Charlottesville. It's so much more to Tobago. It's just that we have to put it out there so people could see that Tobago is really a beautiful place. Because I've traveled a lot of Caribbean places and it's nothing compared to Tobago.
We totally agree. Now, when it comes to some of the partnerships that you have created in the United States and creating opportunities for other young persons through these partnerships, help us to understand how, bringing coaches to Tobago and bringing scouts to Tobago would help to contribute to that youth and sport development. And who are some of the clubs that you look forward to partnering with?
For the sporting aspects, like the track and field clubs, well, I'm also a member of Zenith Athletics Club, which is our Birdstone. Yeah. So even although we have Mr. Alan Morrison and everyone, we have coaches in the States who always contact, hey, who is a good athlete running and so forth. Now, the main podium for that platform is Carifta Games. And Carifta Games is a bigger level for attention for every coach to look and see the potential of what their athletes and them are doing to get that scholarship. Like, for example, Anson Moses. Everyone knows Anson is an entertainer by himself, but he's passionate when it comes to track and field. And I'm one of the person who was behind the back room, just Anson, stay focused, go to school, you have a lot of potential. Don't stay here. Don't just limit your expectations of just being in Tobago because there's so much more outside to see than just come home, hang on the block. And I love his driven passion for track, and also he connects to people in a different way that he excels his friends on them. And I'm so proud of him. So I can say shout out to Anson this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to community work and community engagement, you are from the village of Plymouth, right?
Yes.
And we have a lot of amazing athletes coming out of Plymouth, as well as athletes giving back to Plymouth. We see Miss Karen. She has Kick It with Karen.
Kick It with Karen. We have the Stokey Club. We have the others in the community. So what I normally do, when I do an extreme event, I go to every agent, every community service part of this community. And like we had this event that I did called Fit on the Road, where instead of just passing through the community, I did a platform by every single sponsored organization where we were at Steve, which is one of the main supermarkets. We had Best Buy in the village, we had Stumpy. So all these people in the community, once I've had the support from them, and then with Stokeyville Club, which is a club where my dad was a manager there, and they have the kids in them who now Cordell Joe Field is his manager. So now we work with them now with providing things for school. They might need a cleats. So these are the part where we'll give back to that. And also I have the Backroad Crew, which is young men in Plymouth, where we go around sometimes and just help people who might need a bench or steps in their yard fixed. But you know, not everything have to go on social media to say, hey, we did this or we did that.
Understood.
Yeah.
So we can contact Extreme Fitness when it comes to those community engagement events that you have on.
And I'm always doing for like the school drives. Well, like the schools always want the warm up and the aerobics and these things. So we always go on board because we did with RC, we did with most of the schools, and I'm in Plymouth. Also, shout out to Signal Hill Primary School. Although I'm not there and the Happy Haven School, we are always engaged to help them.
Excellent. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back right after this as we continue our conversation with Mr. Extreme Fit, Daniel Vincent. See you soon.
Passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta, fun.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke what you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
You want the good all.
They do but they enough 99. Girl, go the club, can't lie. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it again.
That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Pam Star Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Max Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. In Tobago. Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure. I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun. Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable. I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I am Chanel Felix, and this morning I have been chatting with Mr. Extreme Fitness, Daniel Benson, and we're talking about youth development and sport development in Tobago. Some of his connections that he's made throughout his travel and career journey, and how he is using those connections to help to develop Tobago's sport. Now, a lot of parents are watching this morning, a lot of grandparents watching, and they want to know, how can they begin to push their young, kids into a career sport? How can they push them into being career athletes? So it doesn't matter what field it is in, but, how do they begin that journey of pushing them into becoming career athletes?
No, being a parent myself, and yes, I have a 6-year-old daughter. Don't force them into the sport that you think you were good at. Let them, I'll say that again. Don't force them into the sport that you were talented at. They will find their own sport. And as long as they find their own sport, then you could be #1 supporter engaging them. But you still have to teach them the principle of the winning, the losing, and not quitting. Because I know I found my own sport, because yes, I used to play football, I used to do track and field, but track and field was more passionable. The coaches and them behind me was like, hey, I think you should put aside the football, and I'm grateful to say track and field took me to where I am for today. Mm-hmm. So whatever your sport is, whether it's football, track, volleyball, netball, and now these lovely devices that we have today, one video upload can make so much a difference today with using sports, because now everybody's using technology where your child could be the most talented kid in swimming, and one video could have a coach from France or England or wherever just engage to see this child, and then they will reach out.
All right. So when it comes to helping to develop our kids into career athletes, for the parents who desire to see that from their kids, do you recommend putting them in a number of sporting activities and see what they do good at? Do we narrow it down to 5, to 3? What strategies do you think we should implement when trying to get the kids to become professional?
Well, putting them in the different various sport first to see where their capabilities are first. And then you have to listen to the coach.
Right.
Listen to the coach because that's the coach's job. That's his profession. These parents sometimes believe the coach might say one thing and they'll have their riffraff, and if the coach say, hey, I don't think he might be a good runner to run 100 meters, but he might be good running the 4 and the 800 because I see how his strides are. I could see how his endurance and strength when he competes in this event. But don't pull the child out now and then take him to a different coach and come with your directions and letting this coach know things, because most
that you
time
want
a coach
him to be Usain Bolt.
Correct. Because most coach will do is find out from the previous coach what occurred. And I guess this coach might have a different perspective to relate to the parent on how to get that child. But we need to work on as well as, I think in Colombia they do it, where they have this program like what we do now for the summer program, where different various sports in different, like the stadium and so forth, that the coaches who are at these locations should be taking notes of, oh, this child is good in cycling, this child is good in track, football, netball. And then you reach out to the parent, make sure they do the full procedure steps down, make sure they get the medical checkups, because I'm keen in on this one, because I've seen kids many times where they did cross country for schools here in Tobago and they ran and pass out.
Right.
And you want to prevent these things early. And then they make sure that they have the chiropractor, the physiotherapist, that as long as they keep training, you have them go into these programs. That's why I told you earlier, we need to have the medical clinic that we could send kids in, whether they're injured, they're hurt, we could deal with them early so they could be back on track. And then get sponsors on board, not just begging the government, that government, we need this, having the main private sectors who are big to put a logo on their t-shirt, advertise their branding. So you're just not going to ask for money and then some might not even use the money for the sport. So we really need these things to get things on.
Okay, totally agree. Now let's shift a bit to scholarships and scholarship program, because you have seen a number of athletes go from a beginner to professional, and not just professional, but profitable professionals.
Okay.
So what type of opportunities do you think are presented, or are you trying to create to stimulate more scholarships for students on the island, and working along with the clubs, the football clubs, the running clubs, to make sure that those opportunities are readily available?
Now, as much as we love sports, you have to go with academics. It goes hand in hand. You're a student athlete. It says student before the athlete. So you have to represent yourself in academics. One thing I learned because although I went to Scarborough Sec, I went to high school in New York. And till to this day, what I'm so happy to see with schools in the States, once you're doing track and field as a student athlete, you have to at least keep a 2.0 GPA.
Right.
If you don't pass that 2.0 GPA, you cannot compete in those sports. You have to go to tutoring until you get back your grades up. And this is one thing that we need to focus on, especially in the island and in education for student athletes. And not having teachers, in my time, just used to say, go out and run. You're fast, you're going to reach fast. No, because today or tomorrow, a child might have injuries. What are they going to fall back on? They need to fall back on the academics. Now, with the academics, yes, you might have the talent in the sport. This is where your status could bring. And also, I have to see the secretary on this, that we need to have a sport portal for every school, that every competition that they go, you have stats of these kids on this website.
Right.
That I could pull up a student name, I could see what his credentials are, and you could forward it to a coach.
Right,
and these
right.
are the things that we
I
need
know,
to
I
have.
know that because sometimes, some of the athletes, you just log in their name on Google and you see all of the big meets that they competed in, what they placed, and what their stats are.
So the only thing for that is, most time is like character games that you will see status for kids who are in the character games. But also you really need it for high school. Because if you have it in high school, although a student might not reach to the character level, he still have potential that a coach could literally take this student out and carry him on. And also we have to focus on the SATs as well, because I went to a school where they did SAT prep. Not wait until you reach fourth form, but third form.
Okay.
So you start preparing early.
So having those
having good SAT scores, having good academics, and you now with your trump card as being a good athlete can take you further. And you could also, the parents as well could even send emails to the various schools to the coaches, because that's how sports work. Most parents email the coach. Then the coach from your club telling you, hey, I need this student here. Start early. You put these things out early, the coach gonna literally take a check. Okay, let me see what this athlete is about. Oh, he runs 21.5 in a 200. He runs 46. He didn't make the character team, but he came fifth.
Right.
So I could take this student now and bring him up there, and things could go from there.
Well, I mean, such great ideas, and it would be a shame to not see them implemented, especially with all the work that you are doing in your private capacity with extreme fitness, even as you are, going from school to school and coaching different students and even having that global exposure. So much of that information, so much of that experience can be translated into effective sport development policy here. And so I really hope that after our conversation that you take a little trek up to the office of the secretary, Mr. Joel Sampson, and continue that conversation, because everything that you spoke about, I think that is extremely needed in the Tobago space.
We definitely
specifically when it comes to the youth development, especially at the high school level, where you now begin to see
not only high school, just primary school and all. Because they don't wait till high school. People wait till you're in primary school, because I'm so amazed to see the talent of these kids today now is they have it natural. They have it so natural. They're so gifted now that you don't have to wait till, oh, you're in high school now. No, start them early. So you prepare them as they get to the high school, they know what to do. And then as they get into high school, it's college. Because as you know, most parents in our time will be like, oh, go to fifth form and repeat. Or go to sixth form, because some parents believe that you're not ready to be independent by yourself to go to that college life and engage in a different atmosphere, because we know how college is.
Right. But how do you encourage, parents to kind of release that hold, that they have on the kids when, because I know specifically of parents who were presented with opportunities for their children to go away and study on scholarships and stuff, and they said, well, to be honest, he's only 17. I don't think that he's ready to go to the United States by himself on his own. He doesn't have any family there, anything like that. It's hard to release the kids.
I was there. I went to school in Kansas. So it's confining in the parent one, trusting in the coach, and the parent as well could take a visit to see what the school have to engage for your child or children. And as long as, like again, with the contract of being a student athlete, because you don't want to go there, embarrass your parents, waste that scholarship money, and then you hear you fail and then they post you back on a plane. Because I've seen coaches did that already in tutus. Hey, you don't want to follow my directions? Okay. You could go back to your country. A next student who is more determined and wanted more will get that opportunity.
Right. And so you were in Kansas on your own at what age?
Kansas, I was, 16?
Wow.
I was Kansas on my own, but I knew what I was focused on accomplishing. And I didn't want that West Indian part of my mother to come out.
Right, understood. Understood.
So,
Totally understood.
exactly.
You don't even have to go into any details there. We know exactly what that means. But this morning we want to thank you for this discussion. And is there anything else that you want Tobagonians to look out for from you?
I don't have much, but I'll just say shout out to my brother this morning because he's now in Tobago doing a brand called Poop Roots, where he's bringing that Tobago natural cultural culinary art dish, which he's a chef.
Right.
And he's doing good. So he's doing a ghost kitchen in New York.
Okay.
So he actually had it as called Sip on Wine, where he used the hibiscus bird as the implement of branding Tobago.
Right.
And like Shy, who everybody know braided, I actually work and train Shy personnel since I'm up there. The networking of Tobagonians is doing so good in New York. Like Jace, Mr. Franklin's son, who has Jace Barbecue. Like, when I'm in New York, it's like the connection of every single body. Like, hey, Dunleavy, hey, I have, I met, which was shocking, one of my high school classmates who is pushing the civil rights for petty crimes when like marijuana charges. He actually introduced the bill to New York State.
Wow, and these are Tobagonians.
And he's a Tobagonian.
Wow, and these Tobagonians that are doing
really
big things, specifically in New York, where you are at the moment. And we look forward to even hearing more about those brands and about how Tobagonians are making their mark internationally. Again, thank you so much for coming on this morning and having this discussion. And I mean, it's sad that we don't get to hike this year, but next year, we guess it's going to be bigger, better. We may have to prepare the trail for more than 1,000.
That's the next thing too.
More than 1,000 persons. So we look forward to that. And you know, by that time, I know I'm going to be in tip-top shape, right? All right. Well, guys, we want to thank you so much for this discussion this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting and doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, shout out to the Extreme Fitness brand and all the other subsidiaries of that brand, all the hair care, skin care brands, you know, that come out from the Vincent family. Shout out to you guys this morning, doing all that you are doing to contribute to lifting the name of Tobago, and all Tobagonians around the world that are doing something within your own space, within your own sphere, within your own field, to wave the Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago flag, but specifically bigging up Tobago. We want to thank you this morning, right? So guys, see you soon. Have a great day, and we look forward to much more conversation with you very soon.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun, we are beaches.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago is such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival right here, we're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. real titans of soca.
When last you been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.